everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, two teams coming in feeling good about how their last game went and want to continue with another win here today. It's the Jaguars going up against the Texans. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this will be taken at the 13. Now a hit and a loose football. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Second down, and the offense in search of 6 yards. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he's got room. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice gain.
First down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Jacksonville first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Fresh set of downs here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker, and on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball. Then he made a nice tackle.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move him out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Now they send a man in motion right. Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from taking the lead. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
No. Check. Patriots. Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Halfback sent in motion. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he's got Pete. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. And he goes in motion here in the backfield.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch it now, Barney. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They come out with one back and three tight ends. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
Here we go now. No. Check. Patriot.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beating on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
Let's see if they can figure that out right here. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Just 1 yard to go here on 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Leopard. Hurry up, here we go. No. Check. Patriot.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And some space here. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. And it's up and good. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people here, 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And on the ground they go with a running back. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 18. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
All right, here we go. Green, Leopard.
So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Third down and 12. 5 wides in the game. 4 of them to the right side.
Now, check. Patriot. Back
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch. Gets his feet down. Sets up a 4th down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13.
Let's go. Green, 39. Back 99, Philly. Here we go. 15. Back 99, Philly. Here we go. Over. You got tight right there.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He completes it to Peak. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, Leopard. Gun.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, that gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. So they come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Check 50. No. Check Patriots.
He'll drop to throw. He gets it here to Pete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Detroit. Now let's go. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And they're going to speed things up here.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 25 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And now here's a carry heading left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Out of the gun now on third down. Going right side here, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of 16 and give them a first down as well.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Back 99, Philly. Here we go. Check. No. Check. Patriot.
On play action, they'll throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll drop the throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
3 yards left to grab here on third down.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, here we go. Blue, 90. Black 99, Philly. Here we go. Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got Pete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! 3-19!
And he motions the wide receiver.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Now let's go! 3-19!
And the back goes into motion.
3-19! Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
All right, now look at 56. Here we go. 56. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit. Leopard. Leopard.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And tough starting field position here. They come out here in the eye.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now they try the right side here. Room here to run. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense. And that was a nice play by the defense, and it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center and the offensive guards. Formerly, they were just power players. Now they have to be light on their feet as well to keep up with the speed of the defensive players.
He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Ooh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. But he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Another pistol look here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice.
Let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Now back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
All right, here we go. Leopard. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Then on the ground they go with a running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Again, we'll see the pistol here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
No. Jack, Patriots!
Out of the gun now on third down. And he comes back with one complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got Peak. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 14 yards there on the pickup. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Jacksonville, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, 'cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V. All reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
I got some out in Dallas, now I'm smelling like LA. Met a from Miami, to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly, left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti, I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis, like they from Oakland. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses, literally I'm lean. Mix it like a bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's sun, California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga, and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me a Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. Don't interrupt, darling, I'm in the zone. Why does everywhere I go just remind me of home? You know that state of gold with the bed. Them other places come close, but they don't compare. I've been to New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V. All reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
California, cause there's no place like California.
Fresh off a flight to Boston, got a BZ in Maryland that I pipe too often. Headed right to Austin, most likely flossing. Tight, exhausted, high as a forklift. Handful of goons out in Colorado. Any given afternoon, you can catch a hollow. Honestly, it's the same out in Richmond, Virginia or California, either state you can get it. I done seen everywhere from Russia to Delaware. Trust me, I'm well aware. Barcelona to Bel Air, Petty to the Detroit. Don't tell him he saw how heavily he balls. Every project, every seashore. And I ain't content trying to see more nomadic. I probably wanna belong. All it takes is a melody to remind me of home. I've been to New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V. All reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
California, cause there's no place like California.
C-A all day. C-A D-M-V-M-I-A. All reminds me of C-A. Sean.
Draw. Hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance. Who's in a bedroom? Who's in a brand new cuneiform? Barely commune with the horde. Got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic, and I grew up in a linseed oil or a linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin, capture a map with a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine. If a portion reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush, then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die, eating up his innards, and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings.
Coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. Who's all with me now? Who's all with me now? Oh my Lord.
a weekend at Bernie's, and baby, you with the problem. About to get it poppin', call a Uber, cause I'm a scuba. Dive while he driving, shot it rockin', and I'm a Uber. I know you like it when I put it when